chasing your dream shouldn't burn you out. Are you feeling like if you're not always doing something, that means you're lollygagging? Does it have you feeling like you're lazy or you're gonna fall behind? I've been there. Last week I hit 2 open mics, and this week I only hit 1. I caught myself feeling guilty, like I wasn't doing enough. But I was also so tired. But here's the thing, burnout isn't failure. It's your brain and body saying,
dude, I'm at capacity right now.
This happens when you care a lot, not when you're lazy. So if you're chasing something big, comedy, content, a business, there are gonna be weeks when your gas tank is just low. That doesn't mean you're falling behind. That means you're human. Congratulations, you can pass that stupid little test.
The CAPTCHA that sees if you're a robot.
But here's what I'm realizing. Sometimes the most productive thing we can do is rest. Hey, if God took a day to rest, so should you. Hustle culture tells us to grind 24/7, but that isn't sustainable. If you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing because you feel like you're falling behind, you might even quit because you get to the point where it's so overwhelming, you don't even want to do it anymore. But if you had just taken some time to pause, you could have kept going at a sustainable pace and created something great. I've done this with various creative endeavors. So let's all make a pledge right now to stop pushing ourselves so hard. You will have slow weeks. That doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you're human. And honestly, rest is a strategy, not a weakness. So if you're feeling behind, take a breath. You're not broken, you're just tired, and that's totally allowed. So here's what I want you to do. Nothing. Then when you're feeling rested, get back out there and keep chasing your dream. So let's talk about week 12 in my journey to become a stand-up comedian just 1 year. I went to Just Bob's, the one I've told you guys about before, coffee shop over in Portland that I'm very comfortable at. And I once again did my bit about at-risk youth. Except this time I did some experimenting. I moved some jokes around, I took some things out, I tried some new jokes, and I just had a fun time with it. So here's an example of a joke that worked.
Before I left, Angel actually asked me if I could adopt him. And I said, look, care a lot about you, kiddo, but I'm in no position to support that. He said, well, in that case, can I just have your GameCube? And I said, no, and then he tranquilized me. He got into my fanny pack. Yeah. Best sleep, though, I ever had.
And here's an example of a joke that didn't work.
Now, I'll leave you guys with this. I actually created a list of all of the physical abuse that I suffered in this job. You guys ready? Yeah. Okay. So I was punched, kicked, palmed, kneed, slapped, headbutted, chopped, pinched, rammed, tackled, shoulder checked, bitten, spat on, and had a stapler thrown at my head. And that was just the first week.
Yeah, I could probably work on that one. So what was the highlight of this week? I think it was just being comfortable enough to experiment with this bit. Because at this point I've done it several times, but there's just like so many ideas in there that I can't try them all at once in, 3 to 5 minutes. What was the low light of the week? The low light was that some of my best jokes didn't hit hard. Some of the ones that have gotten great responses at other mics. And this is the thing that's so confusing about comedy, and maybe you feel this way too with whatever content you're putting out in the world, but sometimes the same jokes that I tell will resonate completely differently with 2 different rooms. But when you get a really big response once and then a kind of response another time, that leaves me feeling so confused. Like, what was it? Was it my lack of momentum that came before? Is it my delivery? Was it the people in the room? And sometimes I don't always know what it is. So the joke response varying can be frustrating, but it can also be kind of fun because it leaves the challenge of figuring it out. How can I get this joke to a point of consistency to where I can tell it in any room and it'll at least get some laughter? Because I have had jokes like that. So how am I feeling? Overall, good. I'm kind of at the point where I don't take things as personal anymore because I've done this now for, 12 weeks consistently, and that feels really good. But it also is really confusing with the inconsistency between mics, so I'm learning how to reflect on that and try to take the audience's feedback with a grain of salt. So, that's it. Short and sweet this week. That's gonna do it for week 12. So if you're also pursuing a dream, you love comedy, or you just wanna see me bomb, you sick freak, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons. Toodles!